All right, welcome everybody to week one of our group coaching. Hopefully, before you've hopped on this call, you've completed week one in the Thinkific course. We talked about some time management stuff, goal setting, tracking your numbers, all sorts of really fun things. No, really, come on. So our agenda for today, we're going to start by sharing some wins, and then I'm going to tackle the topic of social media just a little bit. I have a tip for you as well. We're going to fill out our paper calendars together, and we need to talk about time management as well as time management for free spirits, because although I am not one, there are many free spirits in this world. So we're going to talk about that. We're briefly going to touch on goal settings, and then I'll have your challenge for this week. Okay, does that sound good? Really quickly, so last week I got to introduce like our leaders, our coaches, and I didn't get to introduce my mom like by face. So Mom, can you wave? Melissa's on here, so we've got a straggler there. And I also wanted to say we've got a couple people who are participating with us but can't be on these live calls due to scheduling conflicts. So like, can we all wave to them? Can we all give them a wave like, hey, watching the recording? Okay, I think that's fun. So you can see some of those people in the group. I am going to read through really quickly because, I mean, a new car is on the line. I think that's what I said last week. I'm going to read through who I have down for week 0 challenge to make sure if I miss you, then I need you to like email me, okay? So I've got Sonia, Marianne, Brenda, Amy Fisher, Sasha, Mur, Heidi, Meredith, Pointer, Michelle, Kronberg, Krista, I've got you, Ashley, Jordan, Jan Sparks, Julie, Hammond, Ashlyn, Jackie B, Jerry Huffman, Nia, and Carol Davis. Okay, so if I should have read your name and I didn't, email me, okay? But good job, everybody, taking those sales skills assessment quiz. I know that some of the questions were probably like, this doesn't even like, right? There was an option for like, this means nothing to me. And that's okay. Like you need a baseline. Like you need to kind of like get a feel for where you're at. And it's really okay if you were like, yeah, not a single thing applies to me. That's really okay. There wasn't like a wrong way to fill it out. I have somebody messaging me. Hold on. Oh, Serena, can you, okay, I'll make a note of that. I'm going to forget that. Hold on. You're going to, if I forgot, email me. Otherwise, because I don't want to forget then and double forget, right? Double forget is really terrible. But I did write your name down. Okay, so next up, we're going to share some wins. And so what this means is we're like, you can unmute yourself. I can unmute you if you don't know how. And just to share like, hey, this is something, you know, since we were last on together, that was a win. Again, big or small, we kind of talked about that in week 0. It doesn't really matter. Again, it could be that you're on the call tonight. It could be that you bought a paper planner. I don't even know. But if we focus on the negative things, that's what our brain tends to do. It just tends to focus on negative. So I want to make sure that we remember the good things too. And please remember not to compare and despair, right? If somebody's like, I enrolled 15 people, it's okay. We're not all going to be like, I'm the worst. Okay, so let's do wins. So go ahead, unmute yourself, wave at me if you need help unmuting, and we're going to share some of those. And I will sit here and awkwardly sip my tea until people share too. So, I mean, you guys could be on this call till 9:30. I mean, that's really up to you at this point. And actually, Kate, I might call you out because you already shared in the group.
Okay, I'll be brave.
Oh, good, Marianne. Okay, Marianne's going.
Okay, well, I never filled out the sales tracker before, even though I had one. But I went back and I looked at the last 6 months, and I found that my win is that my closing ratio, my percentage was great. So I have a lot of other things to work on, but that one worked. So it was good to see that.
Marianne, you went back and you did your like whoop whoop, but you went through the past 6 months. You get extra bonus points for that. Thank you for sharing that. And it's kind of eye-opening, isn't it?
It is.
Good. Awesome. I love it. Kate R., would you share a little bit about what you shared in the group? Because I'm not sure everybody saw it.
Sure. Basically, I feel like I plant a lot of seeds a lot of the time, and then kind of out of nowhere, I had one enrollment this past Friday, and then I've got another enrollment coming up this week. So I think it just comes from, like, the one person came to my make and take, and the other one is a coworker that's just she's vegan. She has a lot of like uses for the oils. So then they both approached me. So it always feels good to plant those seeds and then have people approach you. So that's kind of motivated me to like keep going. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. I think it was Heidi who commented on your post that like good things happen when you're like, hey, I'm going to like do this crazy 8-week thing. And like, I'm going to have Laura come and teach a class and May can take class with me. So there's fruit from that. So I'm glad that you can see that. Good. Let's for sure do one more, maybe two. So who's my next win?
I have a win this week.
Oh, Wendy, go for it.
I just wanted to share with you guys because I know most of you are fairly new to this process. And so I have been doing this for about 3 years now. And I just, for the first time, had someone say to me, hey, I heard you're an oils lady. Can we sit down and talk about it? So that was a huge win. Like, okay, I'm out there enough. I'm talking to enough people. Word is starting to spread. So that was really good, and it ended in a home essentials kit. So I'm really glad about that.
That feels so good. And that is a kick butt average order you've got going there, Wendo. Wendo's average order is not on her skill to develop. I can tell you that. She's done a great job there. So thank you for sharing that. Okay, good. I don't want to cut anybody off. So anybody else? I think Meredith is waving. Yes, Meredith, go for it.
Yeah, did I unmute it? Okay, good. I think one of my wins for this week was that Jamie and Emily and I worked really hard on my meeting outline, and it's not done yet, but I feel really confident about it, and so that's a really huge win. Go team. And that's something that that's my homework for the month too, is to finish my outline and get it perfect.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, so this is something we'll get to talk a little bit more about as we go, but taking the skills that were the outlines, the resources, and then making them your own so that you feel comfortable enough to actually do them. So that's awesome, Meredith. And you've got those are great helpers too. I'm kind of jealous. No, I'm just kidding. Good. I'm not going to cut anybody off. Krista's going. Go for it, Krista.
Hey, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A big thing for me this week, I would say, is just really being deliberate with like the time management stuff and touching base with some of the people on my downline. Even getting away and going to a coffee shop for a couple hours. 2 days this week, today and then on Thursday night. So that's big for me.
That sounds amazing. That sounds luxurious.
I
spent like an hour in a coffee shop the other day unexpectedly, and my mom was like, that sounds amazing. And I was like, you do not have a napping child at home. You could be living at a coffee shop. So thank you, Kristen, for sharing.
Yeah.
And Mom, go to the coffee shop, okay? Thank you.
For real.
Good. Anybody else? Those are some really great wins. Okay, thank you. Thank you. That, like, I think cumulatively fills our soul to hear about the different things that people are doing instead of just from me. And yeah, it's just wonderful. So we're going to get a chance to do that each week. So I appreciate that. All right. Are you guys ready to talk about social media? Can we do this? Can we do this together? Okay, we can do this together. Maybe this is going to be what you think it is. Maybe it isn't. I'm very curious to see what you think. Okay, so my personal opinion is this. It might not be the opinion of your leader, which is okay. That's okay. You should listen to them, not me. But you actually really don't have to be all that active on social media to create an income with doTERRA. Is it a great tool that you can leverage? Yes. But I can honestly tell you, like, if you like fully grasp and utilize the skills that you're learning, like none of them, not a single one of them is a social media, like not a single one of them. So if you're like, hey, Amy, I gave up social media for 2019, I'm going to be super disappointed because it's going to be a little harder to connect with you. But I just want to say, because there's this kind of, I think there's kind of like, not even a stigma, but like, you know, you're watching the people who are doing it on social media, right? You're like seeing those things. And I just want you to know that you can leverage it. And there's a lot of ways to do that, but it's a big investment oftentimes of time. You can spend a ton of money on social media courses. Like the process takes, so I didn't actually start utilizing social media at all until 3 years into my business when I was gold. Like I really wasn't. Like, it was just like, I didn't. So I don't want you to like look at myself or another person on this call and be like, oh man, I got to go, got to get to it on this. So I just kind of want to let you off the hook. If it's something that you're very passionate about and something you're like, no, this is a zone of genius for me, I'm pursuing this, then pursue it. But if then I'm letting you off the hook, because the skills that we are going to talk about can be done with or without social media. So I guess my point is really to let you off the hook. So if you are somebody who's like, I want to know one simple way to leverage social media, that is a free tip. It's not going to cost you anything. No, you're not running any ads. You're not doing anything fancy. And this actually comes from my mom. So what you might, if anybody is like, on social media and sees anything that I'm doing. That started from my mom saying, when I was massively overdue with Whitney, she had just come back from convention. I couldn't go because I was pregnant. And she was like, I just listened to Haley Hobson, and she was like, post one photo a day for a year, for 365 days. Post one photo a day. And not a single one of those photos can be about oils. One photo a day for 365 years about things you love, your family, you, what you're doing, real life, like what makes you you. And that is ultimately what propelled all of my online activity, was like saying yes to that challenge. So if you're thinking, so moral of the story is always listen to my mom. But if you're thinking, like, I would like to be a little more strategic about social media, that's honestly the free tip that I would give you and have you start with. And if you're thinking, I don't know if I have the bandwidth for that right now, then let yourself off the hook. Please do. Okay. I'm giving you permission. I don't know. I hope my leaders are all probably like, Amy, why did you say that? But that's my honest opinion about it. So
Amy, there's one little piece that makes it easier if they want to do that. It's just pick 5 topics. Define yourself into 5 categories. Just give yourself a break. And if you were describing yourself to somebody, what 5 categories would be? So for me, it would be like marriage, food, tea, grandparenting, and then just rotate through those pictures. Make it easy for yourself and just do those categories. But that really set Amy on fire.
Like when I'm in Utah, people are asking me like people that are from foreign countries are asking me very specific questions about my home, pieces of furniture in my home, my child, like people, like it really does. Like, it's a whole nother, I've stepped into a whole nother level. You don't have to do the weird things that I do. Okay. Nobody's saying that here, but it's amazing to me how people feel like they know me. And I wish I knew their first name, but I don't. So it's an interesting tool. So that's what I want to say about that in that regards. But I do want to show you a trick that you can use to help you. Because what happens? Okay, so you log on to Facebook. Let's just use Facebook. And what's the first thing that happens? Right? Are we just scrolling? We're just scrolling. Oh man, and the time is sucking, right? So how to, there are times when I'm not against that. Like you can have time for that. There's whatever. But when it comes to if you're going to use social media for work, for doTERRA, then let's be a little strategic about this. So what I would recommend, I'm going to share my screen and show you this. Okay, so you can just go to Google and you can type in newsfeed eradicator. There it is right there. And you can add this plugin. I put it on Chrome because I use Chrome mostly for work. So then when I go to Facebook, and I'm in work hours, this is what I see. I see a quote about procrastinating and my newsfeed is gone, right? The thing that sucks us in is gone. And if I then later on that day want to be mindless and scroll through things or try and connect with people in a different way, I can pull up Safari, I can use my phone, but this is what I see so I don't get sucked in. So it's totally free. You can put this extension on your browser and it's going to save you a lot of time, right? Is anybody ready to go download that? maybe some people. So that's one of my favorite little tips for making sure that Facebook doesn't totally just suck everything. And then my last encouragement on social media would be, if you're going to be using it and utilizing it, look at your goal. So if your goal is, X amount of appointments a week, 2 appointments a week, look at your Facebook activity. And if your Facebook activity contributing to that goal? Each of you will have a different answer. Some will be like, absolutely. I saw 3 people post about being sick. I reached out to them. We connected. We set an appointment. And you will really feel like, and that's great. I would also really encourage you to be very mindful of what you're posting. No one likes people blowing up their news feed. We've all seen it. We've all seen it happen. And that's not what we're trying to do. Be authentic. Post mostly about yourself. If you're going to post about an oil, hey, here's what I'm using, how I'm using it, like in your lifestyle. And it is the greatest thing about like social media is a great way to care for people. People do post about health issues. And again, you can show you care, you can offer a solution, and try to help them, right? See if they're open to that. Right? So you can't get away from social media. You can't get away from Facebook. I just really want you to be mindful of how you're using it. And I also want to give you permission to let yourself off the hook if you're like, I just can't right now. Can we all agree to do that? Okay. Any questions? I got a fist pump from her. Any questions about that? Not what you were expecting about social media, but there you have it. Okay. Time management. Pull out your paper planner. I hope you have it. Paper planner. I hope you have a pencil. Grab your pencil. And this probably seems really elementary, but we're just gonna fill out our planners for the week. So it's Sunday. Sorry, I literally don't even know what day of the week it is. So let's look at this coming week. If you've already filled out that week and you're like a go-getter, well, we can look at the next week. That's okay. You can pull up a blank week to practice, whatever you want to do. But basically, okay, I'm going to get to the free spirits, I promise. So hang with me here. I have a PowerPoint that I'm going to share that will hopefully make this easier. Let me just see. Okay, thanks for your patience. Okay, so here's a picture. I'm sorry, I recommend the planner pad. This is the picture of my planner pad. Here's why I like it. In that top section, I can put my monthly and weekly goals. I can put like things that I have to do that week, things that I'm thinking about. And then in the middle section, I start assigning those things to days. So, I know X, okay, I'm going to get that done on Wednesday. And then when I get down to the final bottom section and I've blocked out my work hours, I say, okay, here's an hour to get that to do done. Here's my next hour to get that to do. So I can funnel it down and get things done that way, starting with the overall picture of what my goals are. So you can do whatever paper planner you want. I'm on like my 6th planner pad and I love it. I love it. So I want to talk about, like, in order to know, you gotta have to set a goal up so you have a plan of what you're going to do. So I would recommend starting with what volume do you want to generate? And again, that might not make a ton of sense, but maybe if you're thinking like, an appointment or 2 a month, then it might just be like 200, 300, OV. If you're thinking, hey, I want to reach a rank, you might know more specifically what you want to create. But what you're going to do is use your sales tracker to calculate how many appointments you need to have. So let me exit out of this really quick, and I'm going to pull up my sales tracker, hopefully. So here's the sample sales tracker. You guys all hopefully got a chance to download it. So it's filled out, so I can go back and I can look. This is this magical little box. So if, let's just say I wanted 700. That was my volume goal for this month. So I can see that I need to have 8 sales conversations that month to generate that volume based off of the numbers that we have. So I'm not just guessing. Okay, so we're looking at 8. So 2 a week. Maybe 3 if I want to make sure, like, kind of cover my bases. Okay. So I want to go back to this. So you're going to use your sales tracker to kind of figure that out. And then you're going to look at, hey, what goal, what skill am I focusing on? That could be closing percentage. It could be setting more appointments. It could be average order. I kind of tend to pick one of those for the month as well. And really what you're going to be focusing on is money-making activities. So if you look at the top of my calendar over here on the right side, you can see that based on my monthly goal, it said I needed eight appointments. So I just said 2 a week. So I'm going to have a goal of 2 sales conversations that week. A money-making activity for me is 2 coaching calls. So I put that in there. I want to have a follow-up appointment, a customer care appointment, and the skill to focus on is increasing my closing rate. Okay, so that's kind of, so then I can put that up there and let that feed into what I'm creating each week. How are we hanging in there so far? Okay, we're hanging in there. I got some smiles. Okay, all right, so now here's more of a full shot of my, and I realized that I changed my sales conversations a week to 3, so I had a buffer. But anyway, so here's the big shot of what I am working on creating with my paper calendar. So here's where you can be actively, so there's my example. Here's where you can be really actively filling out what's going on. Hopefully you maybe have an idea of, here's my monthly plan or my weekly plan, or that's something you can go back to. But some of the things that you want to include on your schedule, like if you have another job that you're working, you have to put that in there. Like those are hours that are accounted for. Family time should go in there. Exercise and eating, you have to do that. Personal time. And doTERRA, of course, we're working on actually scheduling that in so that it isn't either an afterthought or something that just like gets in the way of other things that you're trying to accomplish. So the first thing I want you to fill out on your paper calendar for this coming week or whatever week you're looking at is the things that you have to do. Like, I have to go to work these days. These are the scheduled events that I have to get done, those kinds of things. So take a minute and go ahead and write those things down. And then I can only see some of your faces, but when you're done, look up at me. I really just wanted another screenshot of the top of everybody's head, but I'll behave myself. Okay, so once you're wrapping that up, once you're done with that, the next thing is like you have to tasks. So you have to grocery shop, maybe you have to eat even, like what are some of the tasks that need to get done that you need to schedule in that you want to make sure you allow time for? The next category of things you're going to want to fit on your paper calendar for the week is like taking care of yourself, the events that need to get done. I want to exercise here. I need to eat here. I don't know why I put all my meals in caps, but apparently they're very important to me. So exercising, eating, sleeping, I'm going to go to bed at this time. I'm turning off my phone at this time. Make sure that you write those things in. And then, so you'll see we do events and tasks. So now it's like the take care of yourself tasks. Yeah, you know, I want to call, here's my time, I'm going to call my friend. Here's my time for my haircut, reading a book, taking a walk, 15 minutes to shave your legs. Like, I honestly don't care what it is. It's whatever taking care of yourself looks like. Like once a week, shower, whatever it is, guys. That might just be me. Okay, next up is like your doTERRA time to sell. What are the events there? So you'll see openings for sales conversations. I like circle. So my appointment times, whether it's for a coaching call or like whatever, when I'm scheduling work stuff, they're circled so I can easily identify. So you can see nap time is like my hot spot, and then later in the evening at 8. So 1:30 and 2:30 are circled and bracketed off all week long. That's like work time. If I have to set something outside of that, I will, but I'd much rather call somebody and be like, all right, well, I have 2:30 on Tuesday or 1:30 on Thursday. And then I, instead of working around them, I've made it more convenient for them to just pick one option out of 2. And I've made sure that I haven't just completely shattered, you know, maybe family time or Whit and Amy time or lunch or anything like that. So plug in some time that you can do doTERRA stuff. No. Sorry. All right. Some of you are wrapping this up, and that's okay. I just want to go over a couple of tips to help you overall with this topic, staying focused. So on Thursday or Friday, I always put it down on my calendar to fill out next week's calendar. So here's how I do this. When somebody schedules something with me, when I need to put something on my calendar, it goes on my phone. Goes on my phone calendar. But each week I take the time to map out my own week. What is Amy time? What is family time? What is work time? And I map that out and I set that all out based on what I've already determined is already scheduled, and also preparing for what I'm going to schedule during that week, right? So I use both. I use my electronic calendar to help dictate what's happening week to week. So I always have on my calendar towards the end of the week to fill out next week's calendar. When you have an idea, I would encourage you, like, I hope you have a planner big enough to write this down, but write it in the notes section of your planner on the day you want to do it. Like, so instead of some big long to-do list, be like, okay, I want to do that and I'm going to do it on Wednesday, and boom, there we go. That's when that's going to happen. There's a couple of different theories on this, but you can either start your day or your work time by taking care of a few easy things to help you gain momentum, or my strategy tends to be do the hard things first and get them out of the way, and then kind of steamroll from there. So that's really up to you how you want to do that, but just some different thoughts. Always use pencil, right? Things change, things shift, things move around, and don't sweat it if things don't work out perfectly. Like, my schedule doesn't always happen the same way as I write it down, and that's okay. Yours won't either. This is a skill. This takes time. So don't sweat it if it's not like, oh, I didn't follow it perfectly. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Some of you are still filling out. Does anybody have any thoughts or questions? What is something, any takeaways from that? Like, oh, that was exactly how I do it each week, or I've never done anything quite like that. Amy, you totally lost me. I should check the chat. Oh yeah, I didn't put a link for Planner Pad anywhere. I'm a terrible person. It's the executive size, like 8 and It's like the size of a sheet of paper.
Yeah, I put the link. It worked.
Okay, thanks. So that's just an example for you. Now I need to, so I've like beaten my free spirits into the ground. And so I need to resurrect this time management topic before you guys are all like, this is crazy. So anybody on here, I'm a free spirit, like, yeah, like scheduling down to the hour, or even like some of my like 15, 30 minutes color coding. I will never do that. So, right. We've got some free spirits on here. Yeah. Okay, good. So even if you're not a free spirit, please pay attention, because someday you will work with somebody who is, like your mom, and you'll want to kill her, because I don't understand why she won't just fill out her calendar and follow it. And I have thus learned in two launch groups ago, that she's a free spirit, and that is why she learned it too. So like I said, I don't want you to be angry at your calendar. Like, you might have looked at the screenshot of my calendar and been like, wow, that looks terrible. So if you hate your calendar, if you hate this, you're not going to use it. So it's like forcing yourself to do this is totally going to backfire. So maybe you need something less rigid, right? Okay. We can talk your language too. I have to really work to talk your language, but I can really try. So this is what I recommend if you're a free spirit when it comes to time management. Pick 3 activities each day that will move your business forward, and complete them that day. That's it. So when your 3 activities are done, you're done and you move forward. That's that. Okay, so what do you guys think might be some ideas of activities when I talk about 3 activities that will move your business forward? What are some ideas of activities that will move your business forward? What do you guys think?
Setting appointments.
Yes, setting appointments. Good. Scheduling appointments, making phone calls, reaching out to people, connecting with them. Good. What else?
Doing appointments.
Yes, you got to actually have them, guys. You can't just like set them and not show up. Good. What are some other things that are money-making activities, or like things that move your business forward?
Phone calls.
Yeah, phone calls. Wendy's like, yep. Yes, phone calls. Yes. What about follow-up appointments? Right? Good. Coaching calls, maybe being on one or doing one for one of your leaders. That's another really good one. I would even put professional development, like working on that I wouldn't put like scrolling through Facebook and trying to find people to connect with in moving your business forward. If you want to like give yourself 15 minutes of that, like that's fine, but that wouldn't necessarily be in my top list. Okay. So, what is some other things that it doesn't look like? It doesn't look like putting stickers on the top of your bottles, or or organizing them. It doesn't, it's not about thinking about how awesome doTERRA is, right? So like I said, you pick your 3 activities that move your business forward, you do them, and then you're done. And they need to be specific. So can I have a free spirit yes, Krista, ask for referrals. That's a good one too. Can I have somebody volunteer to be my free spirit? And we're gonna go through a couple of days that you
Julie Hammond, I see her raising her hand.
Krista's raising her hand.
Okay, I'm in. I'll be your free spirit.
Okay, Julie, I love you. Julie Hammond, everybody. Let's give it up for her. She's our first brave volunteer in our launch group. Okay, so Julie, so this is also kind of a hard question for a free spirit, but just work with me here. Free spirits still need to kind of like whatever. So do you have like an appointment goal? Maybe an appointment goal for the week. Do you know how many appointments you'd like to have? Free spirit.
I know. Here, hold on. Let me look at my calendar.
I'm still like, goals? What?
I know. Actually, so here's the thing. Things just happen. they just happen. I'm in motion, I'm doing my thing, and then they happen. So I keep in my head the 3 activities I need to do every day, which is schedule appointments, follow up, or try to schedule a class, or book a one-on-one. So the activities I have this week, I'm speaking with the Dream Queens. We have our networking meeting on Tuesday night, and I get 15 minutes to share Julie Hammond love with the world, with the Dream Queens. So, and in that moment, I will have to come up with something brilliant to make everybody want to pick up the phone and have a discussion with me about essential oils.
You can do it. Okay, so what day is that happening? You probably have that on your calendar.
That's on my calendar. That's Tuesday from 5:30 to 7:30.
Okay, so like on Monday, or I guess on Tuesday, what would be like something that will move your business forward that you could do in light of the fact that that's coming on Tuesday night?
I am having a strategy call with your mother, with Melissa. So excited. So I have that. That's moving my business forward. And then after I get off the phone with her, I am going to be making phone calls about the reactivation promotion. So I should write that down right now.
Write that down. So you're going to coach on Monday. Coach with mom, prep for mom. Sorry, Melissa. That was embarrassing. Coach with Melissa. That's perfect. There's one. Reach out to people about the reactivation promo. Good. And then is the Dream Queen thing like something that you would invite, call people and invite, be like, hey, I'm speaking at this? Or is it like is it like a club,
Yes. So, and I love that you point these things out, because I do them, but I just don't write them down. And so as I go throughout my day, free spirits, things just like pop in our head, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I really should invite so-and-so to the Dream Queen. So I'll pop in and send them a text. So I'm going to write it down on my calendar, invite 5 people to the Dream Queen meeting.
Yes, good. And I love you made it specific. Okay, so you're inviting your 5 people, you're talking to Melissa, and you're reaching out to your welcome back people. Boom, 3 activities, Monday. Okay, good. What about, let's do Tuesday then together. So what's something that you can do? Do you want to practice on Tuesday for Tuesday night? Or no, do Free Spirits not do that?
No, I need to practice.
Okay, so we're gonna practice on Tuesday. I really don't know what Free Spirits do. Okay, so you're gonna practice for Tuesday night, and then let's make sure. What about making sure that you have appointment times? Because people are gonna leave that Dream Queen event wanting to have appointments with you, right? So do you have slots open to set those appointments, or know when you can do those? Do you know what I mean? Like be like, hey, I've got this time or this time.
Yes. And what I probably should do is have like a sheet there so that I could say, hey, these are the times I'm available.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So like Tuesday would be probably prepping and getting those things ready. And then on Wednesday, one of your 3 activities should for sure be what?
Yes. Following up with those people from Tuesday night.
Yes, following up with them. Okay, perfect. See, you got it. So my free spirit friends, you guys are doing it. You're doing it, and it's all up there. And I think actually you tend to function pretty well with it all up there. But I think on some level, to preserve your sanity and to help you move forward, it's good even if you just write down 3 things that you're going to do and check them off or whatever you need to do, and then move forward. Does that sound fair, Julie?
Absolutely. I love it.
What did you think about that? How are we doing after that?
We're great. We're focused, and I need that.
Good. Okay. There's been a lot of free spirit chatter in the chat box. I can't even look. I'll laugh. I'll have a problem. Okay. Thank you. A round of applause for Miss Julie Hammond. It was excellent. It was beautiful. Thank you, dear friend. Okay, so I just really want to talk super quickly about goal setting. And first I'm going to pose the question to you guys, like why, again, free spirit or not, why is setting a goal important, do we think?
If we don't do it, it's not going to get done.
Helps us get
It's not going to happen.
That's right. Helps get it done. I like that. Good. What else? Oh, now I'm going to check the chat. You know what you are working towards. Yes, absolutely. Perfect. Good. What else? Why is setting a goal important? Why is it helpful? It keeps you moving forward. Yes, perfect, Serena. Okay, so it sets an intention, right, SP? So having a goal helps you make a plan. It helps you gauge what activities you need to do. So even Kate R, my free spirit, admitted that sometimes it's nice to have a little structure so that we're not just feeling overwhelmed or like, I don't know what to do. Am I doing enough? Am I doing too little? All those things. So it helps set a gauge on that so you don't wander aimlessly about doTERRA land. That's not very fun. It also helps you know what not to do. And ultimately, a goal is the most beautiful way to measure your progress. Did I reach my goal? Yes, great. What did I do well? Did I not reach my goal? Okay, that's fine. Maybe still talk about things that went well, but what are some things that didn't go well? What can I adjust? What can I work on more? So, free spirit or not, structured or not, those of you who are color coding your planner down to the minute increments, goals are really good because they're going to help you figure out what needs to happen and what doesn't. Okay. I just had to say that. I just had to do it. Does anybody have any, so we're about to wrap up here. Thoughts, questions, takeaways, anything they want to add to this conversation? Now is your chance.
If I teeter between OCD and free spirit, and my questions are like, what are some other, like, what are other planners, like paper planners? I use my digital calendar a lot, but I'm looking for ideas for paper planners. And then I like the help with the goals and setting intention, because I've had a really hard time the last month. I have all these scattered doTERRA ideas, and just having this conversation and writing it down, like I have it blocked in my calendar, but I'm not utilizing it because I'm not remembering. But when I get to that space that the baby's napping or sleeping, I'm like, oh, what was I going to do? Mm-hmm. And so like, it helps, you know? So that was my question, was if other people are using different planners, what are they using? And order a box of pencils.
Yes, order a box of pencils. People in this group that have been, walking through time management, if you have a planner that you've loved, post that. Maybe we can post that in the group. I think that there's something really intensely like personal and like about picking your planner. Like there's like aisles of them at Target, and like some are really beautiful and some are all this. So I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I feel like it can be kind of crippling. So I would encourage you to, like, even if you just have to print off a few blank sheets off of like a planner online until you find something that you love, do that as well to help. Oh, Sonia, look at, she's trying the planner pad with erasable colored pens. You guys, see, so many good ideas. You guys don't need me. You need each other. Good. Does anybody else have any questions or thoughts? That was a lot of really fun stuff. Don't lie. Don't lie. I know you're like, that was the greatest Sunday night I've ever had. You guys. Okay, you guys ready to hear your challenge for the week? Okay, because remember, Heidi's giving out new houses. It's new houses now. We've upped it. It's gonna be real exciting. Okay, so your challenge for this week, I need you to take a picture of your paper calendar. Yes, it needs to be filled out. Please do not post a picture of your blank calendar. That will not qualify you for the house. So post that in the Facebook group. Okay, take a picture of your filled out calendar, post it in the Facebook group. And then in the description, all that beautiful stuff you can write, I want you to write something that you've learned about time management or a takeaway from our conversation on all this, okay? So post your filled out paper calendar, a picture of it, and then a takeaway from our time management conversations. That's a pretty good one. We can all do that, right? We can handle that. Okay, perfect. So be watching the Thinkific. Week 2 is up. ready to go. We will talk next Sunday night. We will be chatting in the group in between now and then. And go enjoy your planned out week. As according to me, it will be the greatest week of your life, all those plans, but we'll see what you think. All right. Have a good night, everybody.